Update 4. Hello, yes, I am the father. I mean, I knew 99% of the kids were mine, but you never know. In the end, I thought my wife was a loyal woman, but she wasn't. I can say I can breathe with the full lungs finally. Now everything is easier. When I received the results today, I was so scared to read it. I needed to take 10 minutes before I actually saw the results. Damn, if someone told me this will be my life, but here we are. I started to work again today. Melody is taking care of everything. My friend and his wife are there to help her. She sent me pictures of my kids when she drove them from the school and when they were eating. She is really good and kids love her. Well, these last 5 days were really tough mentally, so let me start. Weekend, my wife didn't call me at all since I told her about DNA tests. She was still sending me messages but didn't call. Her friend told me she looks like shit and behaves like she has a mental breakdown. She would send me about 30 messages per day, before it was 150 to 200 at least. Mostly were something like this: good morning, have a great day, I am so sorry for everything, please call me if you have any desire, I am so proud of you how you are taking care of everything, I can't express how sorry I am for everything. I wish I never went out that night, I wish I told you immediately. She would sometimes change the words, but the context would be the same. And she would send me some pictures of us and kids from the past, from the vacations, us all being on the couch, in the restaurants, etc. I have to say that until yesterday she would just FaceTime with my daughter, son still refuse, every day, but she didn't come to pick her up. Why, but as her friend says she just doesn't seem normal right now. Well, my brother called me in the Saturday. I didn't tell him or anyone in my family what was going on. Whenever they would call to see my kids, me and my wife, I would have some excuse why my wife isn't near me. I knew she didn't tell them until she actually did. So my brother called me and he told me she confessed everything. He was shocked and couldn't believe it. He thought we were joking with him. Yes, people, with all the evidence still no one can believe. I think people would rather believe she became president of the USA than this. That's how shocking and how big betrayal this is. My brother's wife is very close to my wife. After she heard about all of this, she cut every contact with her. My brother did the same. At first I thought she did it because of me, to show me support, even though, as I said, they are really close. But no, she did it also because she is also disgusted by her and doesn't want to see a person like her around my brother and her husband. I actually laughed at this, but I appreciated the support. So my wife lost one of the last people she could call. My brother told me they will try to come to see me soon, so I am glad. Then my parents called me. My wife also told them everything. My father supports every decision I make and he tells me just to do the best for me and the kids. On the other hand, my mother tells me I should forgive my wife because she is human and made the mistake, she is remorseful, ready to do anything, and one mistake should not be enough to forget the 11 years of love and 3 kids she gave me. I told her immediately that it wasn't one mistake, but 4 mistakes in 1 month's duration. Her answer was, you should ask yourself why she did that. Was everything okay with you too? I hung up immediately. I love my mom. After kids, she is by far the most important person in my life and I would do everything for her. She saved my life when I was younger and had so many problems. If she wasn't my mother, I would be in the grave or on the street, and she is my guardian angel. But I just can't believe she could say something like that. Then my father attacked her. Why is she defending cheaters? My mother apologized immediately. She just thinks about what is best for my kids, and told me whatever I decide she also supports. I didn't have enough energy to talk anymore. Wife's parents and her brother still don't talk with her and actually told me that they will call her friend to tell her that they will send the remaining stuff she has in her own country to her and that she is not allowed to enter their house anymore. If we forget all of this, the weekend was actually really good. We went with my friend's family to watch a football game. Went shopping, the kids were laughing and smiling. That's what is most important. Now, another chaos with my wife. You remember how I told you she stopped calling me? It didn't last long. I need to add a little bit of context here. My first assistant at work for the last 15 to 16 months is Sarah, 29. She is a great worker, professional, very smart and kind person. But she is also really attractive, and since she moved here and since she works with me, also single. I told my wife about her before she started to work with me. My previous assistant was a guy. She was okay with that, nothing special, until she saw how she looks and that she is single. Then she became cautious. Irony, huh? Sarah would sometimes send me messages during the night, 9 p.m. and always about work, but she would wish me good night, as my wife would say, in a weird way, and my wife would be very angry and insecure about that. Irony, huh? 2-0. Then she would sometimes come to my workplace with the kids without calling me. I didn't have any problem with that since she would do this also before when I didn't work with Sarah, but now she was doing this firstly to see how me and Sarah would react. Anyway, with time her jealousy decreased because I assured her nothing was going on. But she was concerned about her intentions and she would say she can see Sarah is eating me with the eyes, and my wife never liked her and was really cold whenever they two would be near each other. This Monday we had a really important event in our company. Sarah and I have always been in contact since I took days off from work. I told her it's about personal reasons and she wished me all the best. I didn't want to go to that event but eventually they told me to come. I asked Sarah if she wanted me to pick her up. I know how this sounds but I have my reasons why I asked her. Event was in the hall in the different part of the city and I literally needed to drive near her apartment complex to come there. She doesn't drive. I never picked her up before because of my wife. She was working extra since I am at home and she was doing basically my job for free and never said a thing. In the end, I don't need to explain anything to my wife. I can pick up 10,000 girls now if I want. I picked her up, we talked, came to the event, we were on the same dinner table with 6 more people. I drove her back home, she wished me good night, I did the same and went home. Melody was there, I wished her good night, my kids were sleeping and I went into my bedroom. And then I went to see messages on WhatsApp. I turned off all notifications from Viber, Line, WhatsApp, Telegram because my phone is melting when my wife starts with her calls and messages. And there I saw a lot of messages from my wife and her friend. I checked messages from her friend and basically she told me my wife is going crazy, and having a mental breakdown because someone told her that me and Sarah were really close and enjoying time together at that event. I asked her immediately who told her that and she told me she can't tell me. My wife was saying how I changed her for, younger, irony, a 3.0, smarter and more attractive model. How my kids were going to have, young stepmom who will be with me the whole day because we work together and are very likely already together. I just started to laugh and said that I don't have time for this nonsense. If there is one thing that I really don't care about now and is not on my mind then it is having any relationship with any woman now. Even if I did something and I didn't, I don't owe her shit. I was loyal more than 11 years to her and to be honest, I had much more situations where girls were approaching me thinking I am single than guys looking approaching her and she fucked up, not me. I went under the shower and I was just asking myself who told her this. My wife is not close to anyone from my work. She doesn't talk with anyone. The only person that knows about my situation from work is my female coworker who recommended me Melody. She is really close to me and she had horrible things to say about my wife, after I told her everything and she didn't say anything to anyone 100%. I just said to myself that someone from work that doesn't like me sent her a message probably from the burner account and that's it. I called Sarah and told her we need to see each other tomorrow. And yesterday we went for coffee and I told her everything about my wife. She was shocked that someone could say something like that. I told her everything because of a few reasons. I expected my wife to call her and have another lunatic episode. Luckily she didn't. I wouldn't lose my job at all if this is even true between us, but I don't want someone to tell complete lies about me. Also, why would anyone lie about her? She is sleeping with her boss and that's why she has a job, and also I didn't want to hear any rumor that my infidelity is the reason for my divorce and that it could possibly ruin my chances during divorce process. She told me she will tell me if she hears anything and today when I returned to the job everything was perfect. My wife started to call me again every 5 minutes. She constantly cries, begs for a new chance, she will do everything, whatever I want. She came yesterday to see the kids. My sons were at football practice, but she took our daughter. When she brought our daughter back she tried to ask me a few questions about Sarah but I left immediately. I don't need to explain myself to her at all. But the thing I do notice about her is that she definitely lost some weight, her friend tells me my wife refuses to eat, and bags under her eyes look like she is a crackhead. On Friday my younger son turned 7. But he will celebrate on Saturday with his friends and other kids in our house. My wife will be there and her being around me for a few hours is one huge disaster in the making but I will try to stay calm because of my kids. On Sunday I plan to confront her one-on-one about DNA results and offer her a deal about her future so I will probably update after that probably. Comment. I'm sorry is an old love song, and when she told her AP that you were cheating, to try and justify her BS behavior, is when it was all over. No offense, but your mom sounds like a cheater too and that is the exact rhetoric that they like to use, when they're picking up for another cheater. Your pops better watch himself too. Glad the kids are yours, as they're the only thing that matters now. Update 5. Hi everyone. I said I will update after I speak with my wife on Sunday about everything but I actually already did it or maybe did it. It will be a long post so feel free to skip it. If no one reads it I am okay. I feel better when I write this because I am feeling the worst ever so at least I can vent here. On Thursday my wife called me to ask if she could take our daughter for a sleepover. Our daughter doesn't go to the kindergarten on Friday so she is free. I told her she can. She came and again she tried a little talk with me but I didn't want anything. She wanted to talk but I told her to leave. But she asked me if she could talk a little bit with our younger son since he will turn 7 tomorrow. I called him and he came. He was standing away from her but he was listening to her. She told him how she already bought him gifts and how much she loves him. Eventually she hugged him and kissed him but he didn't respond. He literally didn't say a word and just left while she was standing there. My older son still refuses to see her, let alone talk with her. She left with our daughter and promised they will be back by 5 p.m. tomorrow. So in about 24 hours they will be together. She was sending me a lot of pictures of how they are making pancakes, sleeping together and playing together. And also sent me so many messages saying how she regrets this is not happening with all 5 of us right now. Yesterday, Friday, my son became a grown man. He is 7. I woke him up and my older son and I congratulated him. He was really happy and in a good mood. I drove them to school and went to work. While I was working my wife called me again asking if she could spend the afternoon and evening with our son and daughter. She assumed older son would refuse. Again, I said she can. She was texting me through the day that she planned everything and I know she was excited. They will go eat, then they will go to the amusement park, they will go kart, then go on ice cream. I liked everything. To be honest, my younger son in my eyes suffers the most with this situation. While my daughter is very young and unaware of anything and sees her mother a lot and my older son is very clear that he doesn't want to have contact with my wife, the younger son is very quiet and looks very confused. So I liked the idea of them 3 spending time together. I specifically told her to not enter the house and wait for me because I need to talk with him first and I need to see his reaction. I don't want to force him on anything. She agreed and told me she would wait for me. I had to stay a little bit more at the workplace and my friend and his wife were waiting for me in my house so they could go with me to buy everything I needed for the birthday, food, drinks, cakes, gifts. I texted my wife and told her I left my workplace a little bit late and that there is big traffic in the city so I will be late. She told me she is close to my house but she will wait for me. I called my friend and told him that my wife is coming. I also called Melody to prepare other clothes for my daughter and asked her what my sons are doing. Everything that happened after that I didn't see. Melody, a friend and his wife told me this and I believe them 100%. My wife arrived with her friend and our daughter. Apparently my daughter invited her in the house to show her something, according to my wife's friend. My friend and his wife with my sons were inside of the house then. Melody was in the backyard and stopped her from entering the house. My wife started to fight with Melody. Who is she to forbid her to enter the house with her daughter? The friend's wife heard the noise and went out. Friend's wife and my wife were friends but she doesn't talk with her anymore after I told her what happened. She told her to calm down and to respect my decision. Wife was much more calm and kind towards the friend's wife than she was with Melody. My daughter was then calling her again from the door to come and they again stopped her from entering the house. My wife's friend told her to wait for me in the street. And then my older son stormed out of the house. Started to yell at her that no one loves her, to get out of here, that we are happy without her and Daddy is happy without you and that everyone hates her. She started to cry and begged him to talk with her but he was yelling like crazy at her. She left the gifts for my younger son and went with her friend in the car. Then my older son took those gifts and threw them on the street while they were in the car. My friend then put him in the house. According to my friend's wife, my wife left crying like crazy. I came home, didn't see my wife and then they told me everything. I couldn't believe it. All my kids were always kind, nice, not spoiled and never rude. My older son was always a little bit more connected with me but he never ever told anything rude to my wife before all of this and he always loved her so much. So I told him to come into my room. I literally asked him if he was normal. He apologized to me and said he couldn't listen to her anymore. I told him he should never ever talk like that with his mother and that those gifts aren't for him, and that he doesn't need to apologize to me but to his mother and brother. He started to cry saying I am forcing him to call my wife and that he won't talk with her because he hates her. I was speechless. I know he needs therapy and I will solve that really soon. He apologized to his brother. Then I spoke with my younger son. I asked him if he wanted to see his mother on his birthday tomorrow and he said he didn't. I asked him a few times if he was sure and he said he was. He also refused to see gifts from her and told me to give her back everything she bought. So I called my wife's friend to tell her about this. She told me my wife is having a panic attack and struggles to breathe. After 2 hours she called me saying that she needed to call 2 of her own friends because of my wife and that she is sleeping now after she took some pills. Today when I woke up I saw messages from my wife. She basically told me she doesn't want to live anymore. She can't live without us and she wants to leave and leave me and our 3 kids alone. I called her and told her that I will send her pictures and videos from the birthday, but to not disturb me today and that I will talk with both sons after this. She thanked me and again she was saying how sorry she is. A lot of kids came on the birthday. Also friends from my older son and my daughter. So many parents. My friends with their kids. I was just looking at all those couples, how they are smiling and enjoying themselves, while I am trying to pretend everything is okay. What my life turned into. I really wanted to vomit then. I just wanted my birthday to finish as soon as possible. When Melody left as the last one and my kids were in the living room opening the gifts, I went in the garage and I called my wife. I told her to not interrupt me and to shut up. I was screaming, yelling, crying, and sarcastically laughing for about 5 minutes. And I told her so many bad things. I didn't curse all the people in the world together as much as I did her. I told her the worst things. And I don't regret anything I said to her. She didn't interrupt me but I could hear her crying. When I finished with my part she just said, "I am so sorry, I will do anything," and kept crying. I wanted to break my phone at that moment. Just told her to F off and I ended the call. Now, I am sitting in the dark bedroom and I am writing this. I am just asking myself, what the F did I do to deserve this? Is this karma for my crazy behavior when I was younger? I guess I will never know. I was always a problematic kid. Good in school, horrible out of school. I was running from the house so I could be with my girlfriend. I was stealing money from my parents. My mom came up with the idea that I should start practicing taekwondo so I could release all my energy there. Boy, she was wrong. I started to fight every day and I ended up in the police a few times. Then I went to college. I became friends with the wrong people. I would have exams at 9 a.m. and I would stay in the casino till 6 a.m. playing poker tournaments or blackjack, or I would just drink and go to the nightclubs with my friends and girls. Then I met my wife. She came to work in my country. Some guys had eyes on her, but she was shy and I was a complete mess, but for some reason she liked me. 3 months later she had to go back to her country but she decided to stay with me. She gave me almost all of her savings so I can pay my debts after about 5 months of relationship. I really thought she was insane for doing that. But she did change my life and I changed myself because of her. We left about 10 months later for Asia. I will never forget the first apartment where we lived. It was the biggest shithole I have ever lived or maybe even seen. I've no idea how we lived there for 8 months. But we were saving money and we were really happy now. I have a house, cars, money, and I am not happy. I don't want to sound arrogant but girls always say I am a good-looking guy, in great shape, I am working out 3-4 times per week, I have a great job, career, and I know I can find a new girlfriend easily, but I seriously think I will never ever marry again. I will never trust anyone 100%. I know this might be a temporary feeling and that life is full of challenges and I should be happy because my kids, parents, brother, nephews, friends are all healthy and love me, but I am really tired and empty. Sometimes I just want to give up, but then I remember I have 3 kids, everyone around me expects me to be some kind of magician who is expected to do everything good for everyone around me. Everyone expects me to suffer in silence and to not say a shit what is going through my head. Do best for your kids, take care of your wife, maybe she will do something to herself, do that, don't do that, forgive her. Go on MC, don't forgive her, destroy her, forgive her because of the kids and in some time you will love her again, F her, don't forgive her, kids are better with you and without her. I am so tired. Tomorrow is just a day for me and the kids. Thank you all. Relevant comments. Hey, I don't have a single clue what you're going through as I haven't had the displeasure of being in your situation. But my heart breaks for you and your kids. Stay tough, but don't stop yourself from feeling what you are allowed to feel, be it hurt, angry, sad, confused, etc. Do something nice for yourself and only yourself if you can, even if it's just going to the movies, out to eat, or hell just going to a pet store and looking at the cute animals. Just do something you love doing and try not to reflect on your situation. Just be in the moment with yourself instead of trying to find some reason why you think you deserve this. Because you don't, no one deserves to be in this situation. I hope I don't come across as rude or anything like that. I've been keeping up with your situation and my heart breaks for your family and I hope you find light at the end of this dark tunnel in life. Update 6. Hey guys, a lot of you are messaging me. Everything is alright. Firstly, thank you for your concerns. To be honest with you, I don't know what to tell you. I guess everything is okay. Since I can't sleep, I decided to write this in this late hour. I am feeling much better than in Saturday. I haven't seen my wife since last Thursday. The last time my kids saw her was on Friday when my son turned 7 and my older son kicked her out. She is still sending me messages and calling our daughter. Yesterday her friend brought me an envelope that my wife sent me. It was a 9-page letter plus 4 additional pages of her changes. She wrote a lot of that, so I will quote some of the parts. First 5 pages were basically just about our past. Literally the timeline of our relationship. What we have been through, our best and worst moments, but how we always stuck together. Last 4 pages. I am embarrassed to say I am sorry. I can't express how sorry I am. I understand it doesn't mean you too much, but I am really sorry. I wish I could turn back time. Seeing you and kids hurt really makes me want to die. I should be the person to help you, not to hurt you. I failed as a mother and wife. When D, older son, yelled at me, I really wished I was dead. What kind of mother does this to her kids? What kind of wife does this to her husband? I understand that you will never love me like you did. That you will not trust me like you did. When you told me you made DNA tests for all of our kids, my heart broke into pieces. That was the toughest moment in my life. That moment when you told me straight in the face that you don't believe me since we met each other and you will probably never believe me again. I need to live with that fact. I just want you to know that I love you. I know you don't think that, but I really love you. I would give my life now for you. I hope I can prove this somehow. I wish you could put my heart in some machine so you can get results to see that I love you. I always knew I love you more than anyone, but after everything I did, I know I love you even more than that. I understand how horrible this sounds, but this is the truth. I threw all of that for what? For a little bit of attention. I lied about you cheating on me so I can have excuses in mine and AP's eyes. Who does that? Only horrible and cruel people. I am really lost. But you are not. I wish I could tell you to be with some girl so we can be one-on-one, but the truth is we can never be one-on-one. Whatever you do will not be the same as what I did. Also, I can't imagine seeing you with another woman. I know this is again selfish, but I do love you and I can't accept that, and I hate myself that you don't believe me. I hate myself for whatever I say, or do you just ignore me and don't believe me? I wish you broke every single bone inside me that day instead of this. I pray every day and night that you will call me and tell me to come back. I truly believe that day will come. If there is a 0.001% chance, I will believe. And I will never stop believing. I will accept whatever condition you make me return. I will sleep on the floor, I will clean, cook, wash, and not talk with anyone. I will lick the floor if I need to. I just want to be near you. I will never understand why I did that. What did I achieve? I was telling Z, her married friend that knew about the affair, how I don't find AP more attractive than you. In my eyes no one is more beautiful than you. How I love sex with you 1,000,000 times more than with him. And I still went there a few times. I am so sick. I know you don't want to hear this, but I felt like the biggest trash then, and with you like the happiest person. And again, I still did this since you left me. I ask myself, was everything okay with me back then? Sure, it wasn't, but when I try to remember everything I feel like someone changed my head, like some type of drug was inside me to do that. I could never imagine myself doing that, not even in my dreams. And I did that in reality and hurt the person I love the most. I really hope I will find the answer why I did this. I just hope you will not make your decision till then. You were always stronger than I was. I hope you will survive till then. If you want me to leave and stop calling, I will do that, but please don't forget about me. Don't give up on us like I did. I know this sounds horrible, but don't give up on us because of kids and everything we went through together. I know, because of this my betrayal is even bigger, but I will do everything so we can be happy again wherever we will be. I am ready to follow you and be there for you 1,000 times more than I was till now. You know I would do and give everything for kids and you. You know how happy we were, but I destroyed everything. If you give me another chance, we will be happy again, because of you. We will smile again like we had. I will show you for the rest of my life how sorry I am and that nothing and no one can stop my love for you. I understand you can say AP stopped, but he didn't. I never looked at AP like I was looking at you. I never touched him like I was touching you. I never even kissed him. I would never bring him near my kids. I would never ever tell him my secrets that I told you after a week of our relationship. I never smiled with him, but I was always smiling with you. I understand my actions tell a different story, but you were always the only man in my heart, and I will never stop hating myself for everything I did. I am so sorry for breaking your heart along with mine. This is something I will never ever forget, but I will live the rest of my life to be there for you and our angels in the best and worst, and I will appreciate every second with you more than ever. I love you more than anything else. 2 additional pages were about her changes. She wrote this: I am always telling you that I will do everything for you to forgive me, but I haven't actually done anything yet. Now I will do everything in my power so you can have some answers in your head, and start believing me and hopefully one day forgive me, at least in your mind if not heart. 1. She deleted her IG, TikTok, FB and will never activate them again. I can just say, finally. 2. She is trying to find a job. She only has high school. She has less than 10% chances to find a job here, even as a cleaner, but with respect for the hustle. 3. She will write a full timeline about her affair. I really don't care about this. 4. She will not force contact with our sons, but she will go to every football practice they have and watch them. She will come to every event in the school. If they tell her to leave, she will leave. She will send them a few letters per week and will bring their favorite food, snacks, and toys a couple of times per week. Okay, I like this. 5. She cut contact with the friend that knew about the affair and told her to not call her anymore. It's not her fault, but she can't ask for my forgiveness if she still keeps in contact with the person that encouraged her to prolong the affair. She told me she will tell friend's husband that she knows about everything if I want. I like this because I never liked that cow and I honestly don't care if my husband knows or not. 6. She will go on polygraph. She will answer about 20 questions about me, her and AP, and did she ever cheat me before. She is scheduled for 2 days. I am actually looking forward to this. I checked the reviews and it seems this agency is reliable. 7. She will never ever leave the home without me. She says we can put the camera in our home so I can watch if she leaves. When I leave the house and I invite her with me, she will leave. If not, she will just be in the house around the kids. Yeah, this is insane. 8. She will sign a post-nuptial deal agreement that says if she ever makes any kind of infidelity, texting with unknown man, sexting, flirting or PA, she is giving me full custody and leaving all the assets to me. I don't even know if this is possible. Especially about kids. I know for assets it might be possible, but not so sure about kids. 9. She starts going on IC this week. Whatever. 10. She will not use phone anymore. If she does, she will not have a password and will delete and block all male-female contacts except us, family and 2 friends. She never had a password and I really don't care about her contacts. 11. If we reconcile, when she drives kids to the school and then goes to the supermarket, she will share her location and video record herself in the supermarket so I know she is not talking or meeting with anyone. Or she can order food directly to the house and I can see on the camera that she had contact with the delivery guy. As I said, insane. 12. She started to listen to some podcasts from the ex-cheater and will purchase some books about infidelity. I can't express how much I don't care about this. There was also some other stuff, but it was literally so crazy. Like she will sell all her clothes and use that money for something else. If there is one thing about her that I still believe in, then it is that she doesn't care about money. She never ever bought herself any expensive piece of clothes, shoes, jewelry, or bags. She just doesn't care about that. So if she sells everything, she wouldn't earn a lot. Also, she said when she finds a job she will buy food for herself and other things, so she will never take $1 from me. But my favorite is that she will sell her phone and start using an old phone like Nokia 3310. I would love to see that. At least she wouldn't be capable of sending me so many damn messages that fast. That's about that. Kids are okay. Doing as best as they can. I have a lot of things to do at my workplace, so I am pretty busy. As I said, my wife still sends me messages where she wishes me good day, morning, night and asks how kids are doing. She sends me some pictures from the past or how she had dreams about some moments of us, and of course how much she regrets and loves me. Both of my sons will start visiting a psychologist tomorrow. I hope I will find some answers after that. Maybe I will update after she sends me polygraph results. Thank you as always. Comment. God, this is heartbreaking. I believe her remorse is true, but her desperate offers to make up for her transgressions only emphasize how much she has irrevocably broken your marriage. Offering to assure you of her future fidelity by virtually locking herself in a cage, telling you that her every touch and kiss will demonstrate her love. It is insane, and it makes what was beautiful into something sick. The very act of lovemaking, instead of being an act of love, becomes a miserable attempt at penitence. She is like a child who is distraught because she has broken a beautiful glass sculpture, and she is frantically attempting to repair it using children's glue made for paper crafts. Update 7. My kid started to visit a psychologist and it's not good. I talked with the psychologist days before their first session and explained to her. We went for the first time on Wednesday. After the session she explained to me that my older son is really hurt with everything. According to her, he has hate towards my wife and his mother, but that is his defensive mechanism. On the other hand, my younger son, according to her, suffers even more. She told me she can see that he just behaves like his older brother. In his statements she can see that he doesn't have a bad opinion about my wife but follows my older son and talks and behaves like the older one does. She told me the next time she would like to talk with them one by one. So we went again yesterday. My older brother was the first, then my younger. Each talked for about 60 minutes. When my younger son was inside, me and the older boy went to eat while we were waiting for the younger son. I didn't want to ask him anything, but then he told me out of nowhere something like, "Dad, I don't like this woman. She is bored and tells me to cry, but I just want to go home and play with my friends." I tried to stay normal, but I started to laugh. He is really mini-me. Anyway, we went back to pick my younger son and then I talked with the psychologist. She told me straight away that my older son will need a lot of sessions. He is very protective of me and completely refuses to even acknowledge my wife. She is stunned that they had a perfect relationship and now that he behaves and talks like this. But she tells me he is 100% aware of what is happening and that my wife hurt me badly and that is his reason to be like this. She asked him if he has any desire to see her and he immediately said that he doesn't. Because of those answers she even asked me if I was seeing some other woman and I was WTF. But then she shocked me for real when she said my younger self was in tears and finally opened himself. As we both thought, he follows my older son in his actions. Since all of this has happened, my older brother has been telling my younger son each day how my wife is cruel and evil and they need to support me. My younger son wanted to see her on his birthday and was sad when he saw her crying when my older son yelled at her. But didn't want to call her because he didn't want to disappoint me and my older son. He confessed to a psychologist that he misses her a lot. She told me I can call my wife next or another week so she can be in session with my younger son and I said that's fine. And she told me to talk with him when we come home because he feels very sad now. We came home and we talked. He told me basically the same thing he said to her. Apparently my older son even told him a few days before his birthday to not call my wife at all. That she doesn't deserve to be around us. My younger son didn't like how my wife talked with Melody, but he wanted her to be at his birthday party. So I told him immediately that I asked him a lot of times if he was sure to not invite her and every time he said he didn't want her. But again he explains he didn't want to disappoint us. I asked him what he wanted. Does he want to be with her? I told him he can be with her and I will visit him whenever I can daily. He immediately said no. He said he would like her to come back to live with us and he doesn't want to be with her without me. I told him he can tell me his true feelings and no one will be angry or disappointed and he said this is how he feels. He even started to cry so I stopped with questions and told him to calm down. Then later I talked with the older one and he is just one piece of mystery. He admitted that he was telling bad things about my wife to my younger son because she deserves it. I asked him immediately why she deserves that and he responded quickly because she hurt me. So I am up and down with him. I don't know if he knows something I don't. I mean, he will be 9 in December. He is a very smart kid and a great student, so I agree with the psychologist that he is aware of everything. I asked him if he wanted my wife to come back and he said no. My daughter is crazy about my wife, so no problem about her. I am in contact with my wife but only with kids. She is begging for a new chance as always, and sends long texts a few times per day. She called me today to say that her friend, not the married one that knew about AP, talked with her and he can find her a job as a translator. My wife speaks perfect English and is fluent in the local language. She also reads and writes in the local language perfectly and that's very tough. So she is very excited because of this, but even more because she would work mostly from the house and that is the most important to her, because she can then prove to me she is not doing anything except working. I didn't tell her anything about kids and psychologists. Also, on Wednesday when we finished with the psychologist I drove my kids to football practice. Then I received a message from her, "You look so hot in an all-black combination." I started to look around me because other parents were near me and I didn't see her. Then I noticed her on the opposite side of the practice ground. She promised in her changes that she will watch their every practice and if our sons ask her to leave she will leave. They didn't tell me anything so I don't think they even saw her. All of this is positive from her, can't lie about that. I also talked with my lawyer and asked him about that postnuptial deal she told me. He said it is possible in the country where we live since according to law one of the parents needs to be a foreigner to put infidelity clause and child custody in postnuptial. I was shocked to hear this even though I've read some positive stories about this in recent days. But then while he was telling me this I asked myself, why the hell do I even talk about this? I don't plan to touch my wife. I don't care if she is with 5 guys now. Me and her as a husband and wife are done. Even if she comes back to my house it will be only because of kids. So whatever. He told me papers will be ready to serve her during the next week, but he told me to take some time and think good about everything, and at the end decide what is the best for kids and myself. So that's about that. She saw our daughter today. They spent a few hours together. She told me she did an interview at the polygraph testing and will answer questions on Monday, and she already goes to IC meetings. I told her that IDGAF and she started to cry a little bit, that she doesn't know what to do and she is trying everything. I told her she knows what is the one thing she was never supposed to do, and she did it, and I left. Tomorrow I plan to talk with my family, parents of my wife, friends, and then during the week with my kids and their psychologist, and then with my wife. I will wait to see how my kids will respond when I tell them she might never come back to this house. Also, I need to see how she will react when I tell her divorce papers are ready. Then her job. I need to wait for that to see if that will happen or not because of her visa. After all of this, I will decide what to do next week. My kids are my first priority. I am still very pro-divorce, but I am open to bringing her home for some time until she settles down and realizes we are done if my kids ask me that, or if their behavior is not good. If bringing her home will help them, I will do it. Relevant comments. Your marriage is dead, so divorcing her will be a given eventually. That being said, if you will never be romantic with her again, then bringing her back to live with you will be a waste of both of y'all time. If she does come back, it will only be in taking care of the kids kinda role and living on opposite sides of the home, which again will be a waste of time, especially if either one of you becomes involved with someone else, which will cause friction. A postnuptial is only for if you plan to have her in your life again, which you seem to not want her to be in, so again a waste of time and money. A clean break is your best bet, with each living in different households.